All right, what's going on, guys? So we are in these kind of mangrove swampy areas here in Fort Lauderdale. I think I got the tides wrong because the tide is way lower now than I thought it was. I thought it would have been a little bit higher, but I was going to come here and try to catch some sailfin mollies because I was here a few days ago, didn't have any microfishing gear with me, but I saw some sailfin mollies, so that was going to be the goal. Now I don't see any fish here at all. It might be because the tide is low and all those fish moved out. But we're here anyway, so we're going to give it a shot. Hopefully there's some fish down there. If we can find them, great. If we can catch them, even better. And my last 4 fishing trips did not result in any videos. I caught fish in all those videos, just the quality wasn't up to what I wanted to put out. So hopefully now, trip number 5 now, we get a nice little video out of this. But let's see what happens, and hopefully it's going to be a good day. Alright, so here's what we are going to be fishing. You can kind of see, hopefully, where the water level was at high tide. It's up on that little mud bank. Right now it's already dropped pretty far down. It's still moving out of here. Here's what I have rigged up. It's a size 20 or size 18 hook with some shrimp and a split shot above it. If there are sailfin mollies down here, I think this is going to be a little bit too big for them. But right now I don't see any fish. So hopefully this bigger piece can at least get some fish's attention here, if there's anything here. So let's just drop this straight down here. There is some current moving through here. Did I just have a bite already that I missed? Is there a fish down there? There is a fish down there. It's a small one though. Can't tell what it is. Can't see it. Let's see if we can catch it. Got him. What is this? Alright, so I did not see any fish when I just kind of scouted the area when I looked down, but as soon as my shrimp hit the bottom, I started getting bites, and it was not just one fish, because I saw the shadows of a couple fish. This is the first one that was big enough to actually get the size 20 or size 18 hook into its mouth and get hooked. This is going to be a crested goby. So these guys and then the regular frillfin gobies are definitely the 2 most common goby species in this sort of brackish water down here in South Florida. So not necessarily a cool catch, but at least there's fish down there. So we'll get this guy back and we'll see what else we can catch. I might have to get a smaller hook on there, but we'll stay with the size we have now. And if I don't catch too many more fish, if I miss a lot of bites, we'll size down. But first fish of the day is a little crested goby. Alright, let's get the shrimp back down there. I think I'm going to go to a smaller hook soon, but we'll see what we can catch on this somewhat bigger hook to begin with. I can see a couple little fish down there. Here's one. What is this? Alright, so we got fish number 2. I think it's slightly bigger, but it is another crested goby. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of these guys down there. Maybe some frill fins mixed in. No sign of any sailfin mollies though, or anything else. That's cool. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this one back. I'll make another drop with this size hook, and then I'll downsize, see if there's anything smaller on the bottom there that's going for my shrimp and can't get hooked. Got him. What is this little guy? Alright, so it is our smallest fish of the day. Just barely, these guys actually have pretty good sized mouths on him, but he's just barely big enough to get this hook into his mouth. It is just another crested goby though. So yeah, let's get this guy back. Don't mind them because they're a species I don't get to catch too often, but would like something a little bit rarer than these guys. Got him. What did I get? All right. In the sun, these guys have some good colors. In the shade, they just look black. But they got some nice accents on, a little bit of green. Actually, a lot of green. Nice colors on this crested goby. And I think it's our 4th crested goby in about 4 minutes. So there's a lot of them down there. Just nothing else down there. At least nothing that I could see. Oh, just got picked up. I saw the white shrimp and it disappeared. And let's see what this is. Alrighty, so it's actually a lot easier to hook these guys than I first thought. It's the same size 20 or size 18 hook, which is pretty small. But for these fish, I would expect it to be a little too big to catch them this easily. And it's still the same little piece of shrimp I put on there. So I was waiting for my shrimp to be gone so I can retie. And I didn't have to do that yet because these guys keep going for the same piece of shrimp and they keep getting hooked. This is a tiny guy. Look at this thing. Alright, so this guy is actually foul hooked. The hook is in the bottom jaw, not actually in the mouth. But this is our first frillfin goby. It is a regular frillfin, not one of those other species of frillfins that are a little bit rarer. But little diversity never hurts. So this wouldn't count as a new catch for the lifeless just because it is foul hooked. But it is a cool little catch. Something different than the crested gobies that we've been getting. Got him. What is this? Alright, so this little guy's barely hooked. And unfortunately, I don't think the pictures are coming out well. Like in person, they look dark with like these pretty nice colorful red and green accents. But I don't think the pictures do these guys any sort of justice. They just look really dark and really plain colored on the pictures. I guess you guys just got to take my word for it. Really nice looking little fish. What is this? Alright, so it's our second one of these guys, and the first one that really actually counts because I hooked him in the mouth. This is a regular frillfin goby. So, like I mentioned earlier, I think frillfins and crested are the two most common goby species in these kind of shallower brackish waters down here in South Florida. Both really cool. Like, I love gobies to begin with. I love any sort of bottom fish, like gobies over here, darters in the freshwater. Really cool looking fish. I wish I had a tank of these guys, but maybe one day. But for now, let's get them back and let's see what else we can get. Got him. I think this is another crested. Yeah, so the water may be pretty murky. It's a little shady over there with all the trees above head, but you can see the pretty light sandy bottom, and then you can see just this dark shadow come out from out of nowhere, and then you see your little white shrimp disappear, and you know you've got one. But just another crested goby, so tons and tons of these guys down there. The frill fins seem to be a little bit rarer, and those are usually the most common ones you can catch. But I don't mind these guys at all. It's not the sailfin mollies I came here looking for. Haven't seen any of those yet. But these are still pretty cool. Like I said, I love these bottom fish, even though if they're species I've caught before, they're still cool. Got him. What is this? A frill fin? Alright, I believe it's frill fin number 3 if I'm not mistaken. Average size one. It's one of the bigger fish we've caught today, I think. Really good looking fish. I think I like the frill fins better than the crested gobies. I like the pattern and the coloration just a little bit better. So no sign of those sailfin mollies. At this point I don't really even care too much because I'm having a pretty good time catching these little guys. Got him. Another crested. Alright, looks like it is indeed another crested goby. I haven't even seen like any super small fish down there. I've seen a couple smaller crested gobies, but nothing that really even requires that smaller hook. I know I said I was going to put one on because I had every intention to, but I just haven't needed it because all these fish that are biting are of a big enough size to go for this, again, either 18 or 22 hook. Got him. This is a big boy. Alright, so I was targeting something else down there. I think it's a goby, but it's longer and skinnier than the frill fins and the cresteds that I've been catching, so I don't know what that is. Thinking maybe like a spiny cheek sleeper, but this guy kind of got in the way. That guy was a little shy and skittish. This guy was not. But let's get him back. Let's keep fishing. That other thing is probably gone by now, but let's try to find it or something else. Got him, little guy. Alright, so it's another crested goby. I did end up tying on a little Tanago hook, hoping that I could find that long skinny fish, which I think might be a spiny cheek sleeper, because that guy I think would be a little bit more interested in like a smaller presentation like this. Unfortunately, that guy seems to have disappeared. What's this thing? Alright, so we got ourselves another crested goby. I'm moving around a little bit just because there are some mosquitoes that came out of nowhere. It was pretty good here for the last, I don't know, hour or so, but the last like 10 minutes I started getting bit up like crazy when the sun went down just a little bit. So let's get this one back. I'll fish for a little bit longer trying to find something else cool, but if we get nothing else besides some of these crested or frill fin gobies, I believe that is going to do it for this video.
Alright guys, so that's going to do it. Unfortunately, all we got were frillfin gobies and a ton of crested gobies. And I've never caught this many crested gobies in one day. Those sailfin mollies that I saw here a few days ago obviously are not here. I probably got to come back here at high tide to try to fish for those things, so right now is not a great time for those. And I did see that one other cool little, some sort of long skinny goby, which I think was something different. That guy just wasn't super interested in the big piece of shrimp, and then unfortunately by the time I tied on the smaller hook with the smaller bit of shrimp, that thing disappeared. I also saw a couple little juvenile moharas, but I have no interest in those at all. But overall, this was a pretty good day. Gobies are one of my favorite types of fish to catch. Anything that's small and lives on the bottom, I really like gobies and darters. And let's say 2 or 3 years ago, this would have been an amazing day, because before I ever had these on my life list, there were 2 species that I really wanted to catch. And since I got them, don't really want them anymore, but they're still a cool catch, still cooler than a lot of the other stuff I could have caught today. So hope you guys liked it, and I will see you guys next time.